How would you like two grandfathers who are busybodies? I find that so hilarious. Oh, hi. Welcome back to my channel. This book review is for Proposal They Can't Refuse by Natalie, Caña. Yeah. So, two grandfathers. Okay? One Irish, one Puerto Rican, best friends who have neighboring businesses side by side. And they're octogenarians, which means what? That they're in their 80s. One grandfather takes his Puerto Rican chef granddaughter, and then the Irish American whiskey distiller takes his grandson and forces them into a fake engagement, or into an engagement that the grandfathers, the busybody grandfathers, are sure is going to pay off. Will they go for it? And who are they? Well, they're Camilla Vega and Liam Kane. Now, let's talk about Camilla and Liam. Obviously, Camilla Vega is the Puerto Rican, and I am not being slanderous in any way because I love this book. Okay? You have Camilla, who is trying to update her family's Puerto Rican restaurant and trying to at least bring in some American menus because she wants to enter it into what's called the Fall Foodie Tour. Okay? Meanwhile, the neighborhood is being gentrified. Okay? And there's a good chance that her and her family could lose this restaurant. Now, her grandfather is called Abuelo. You know, because that's what she calls her grandpa. That's only natural. Okay? Now, let's talk about Liam. Now, Liam has been working with his family's distillery and trying to make it a big thing. They produce whiskey and other things. And I don't drink alcohol, but I tell you, after reading this book, I want to try whiskey. I do. I really do. Because he made whiskey sound so good, so like that. So he's working hard on his family's distillery. She's working hard on her family's Puerto Rican restaurant. And then Liam's granda. So I love the terms. Camilla's grandfather is abuelo, and Liam's grandfather is granda. Granda has cancer, and he's going to pass. He doesn't even want treatment. And he says to the kids, and they're probably in their late 20s, early 30s, I'll get treatment. But hey, before that, I think we should sell. The kid's like, no. Camilla wants to keep the restaurant going. Liam wants to keep the distillery going. And, okay, so my cat wants to see who came in, so let him jump down. Go see who's at the door. Okay, bye, cat. That was Milo. So, two things happen. A is the restaurant and the distillery could be sold because of the gentrification happening in the neighborhood. And the second thing is the grandfather has cancer and is starting to say that he's going to refuse treatment. Okay? Now, with that, Granda and Abuelo come up with a plan. Now they play chess every day, sitting outside the businesses. You guys have to get married. Now, what is the history between Liam and Camilla? Well, guess what? They grew up together. Probably played in the playpen as toddlers. They even dated. They even fell in love. But then they went their separate ways. And now it's like a decade later. So now you have two tropes in this book. You have a fake engagement, which we'll talk about in a second, and you have second chance. Talking about the fake engagement, you have the fact that to convince the grandfather to get cancer treatment, he says, I want to see you two married before I die. Okay, so now they say, okay, we're going to keep the business and we're going to make Grandpa get treatment. So yeah, we'll say we're going to get married. So now they have to convince all their family, because they both have big families and they have a lot of friends. And they have to convince everybody that they are an actual couple. Now, they do tell a couple of their family members the truth, but by far everybody thinks that this is a real thing. But guess what? First love sometimes remains a forever love. So feelings start to come into play. And then there's another thing. The engagement is fake for Liam and Camilla, but for the grandfathers, it's as real can be. So they have to move in together. Yeah. Because those grandfathers are busybodies. They're nosy. They're going to check out the facts that these two are actually going to get married. Now, there's something that I really like about the story, and it's more on Liam's end with his response to trying to make his distillery a big deal, beyond the fact that it's making me curious about the taste of whiskey. And I don't have religious reasons for not drinking alcohol. I just don't drink it. But anyway, this makes this book a little bit more sensitive and more emotional. And that's where I like this book so much, is it's not just the tropes, the second chance, the fake engagement. It's the emotional connection that each of them have to their family's businesses and how they feel about their grandparents. I love that. And that's basically all I'll say about a proposal they can't refuse. And as you see the cover, they're on opposite ends of it, and it's a great book. I love it. Definitely 5 stars. Thank you for watching.